Good morning, viewers and listeners. Welcome to the insurance segment. With me in the studio, I have Pastor Datimi Ojokoyo. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Sir BJ, and good morning, viewers. It's good to be here again.
We'll take our quote, and our quote says, "Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. Insurance is your best partner." Pastor Datimi Ojokojo, we are having plenty of challenge
Yes.
come our way. Is that supposed to affect our life, as it were, affect our business,
Yeah.
as it were? Let's take it off there, sir.
I think I'll just zero in on the aspect of the challenges around you affecting your business. We are here because insurance takes care of unforeseen circumstances. There's so much that businesses, property are exposed to, and insurance is always there to rescue you when you go through, damage, fire, destruction, even the looting that took place in the last week. I believe some of the people who suffered loss have insurance policies to call on their agents, call on their insurance company to begin the process of claims. And just like you said, behind stage, we call on people who may have issues to call on the insurance segments, call on ITV and say, look, I have an issue, I have a policy, we would like you to help us. So you will not sink if you have insurance.
Well, thank you for that conclusion. Truly, you have come up with the position of the recent happenings. And that is what insurance is also all about.
Yeah.
Insurance is also called the social science, based on the fact that it deals with the life of the people, the economy, as it were. And so we can also take a good look at the analysis of what happened during the NSAS demonstration that took place and that was eventually hijacked. Members of the public, especially business houses, business concerns,
Yes.
a lot of them had to cry at the end of the day based on actions melted on them.
Yeah.
In some cases, destruction took place,
Yeah.
looting, like you said, took place.
Yes.
And we are happy that the state government have constituted a panel,
Yeah.
to investigate all these actions. We are happy in the sense that the government is proactive to these issues in question. And then the consequence of this action is what we should really look at. What is the basis of insurance in terms of properties that were affected, in terms of the looting, breaking into such warehouses, especially for the private concerns? What are the provisions? I know that, even as I talk now, I had made one or two messages to some persons I know
Yeah.
that, look, if you have a policy, because I heard from the news that you also had a challenge. If you have a policy, can I have that policy so that we can look into the position of assisting in documentations and filing of claims? And I think when we discuss about fire and special perils, fortunately we're talking about fire and special perils. We're talking about damages to buildings, structures, as it were.
Yeah.
So where does the insurance come in this whole thing? Because the business, like you said, of insurance is to say we have peace of mind.
Yes.
And there should be continuity no matter what the circumstances, so that the water will not get into the ship and sink it. Pastor, where do we take?
Yeah, I think let's start from the genesis. Those who have businesses, especially those who have suffered loss, do you have an insurance policy? If you do, like I said earlier, call on the insurance company, call on your agent, let the process begin. For those who, for whatever reason you don't have an insurance policy, I'm sure many people, it's few people that suffered, even though it's painful when we hear about those who suffered loss. But those who have assets, property, business places, warehouses, I think a word is enough for the wise. What has happened is a lesson. Nobody expected what happened last week. Even Saturday, I even witnessed one of them, which was very sad because I know somebody who lost his life, you know, who went there to take some items and sadly died. Very painful, you know, because the life cannot come back now. And what was he going to take from there that could do anything for his life, and he left a family of 5 children behind? I think it's a very sad thing. So if you don't have an insurance policy, now is the time to take up one. And you know, just like we were discussing, Sabije, which I know you will enumerate, about the strike and riot cover included in such a policy, I think it's important people know what they must do to ensure when there's a breakdown of law and order, am I still covered? Because that's a question somebody asked me yesterday. What's the position of insurance when you have such a breakdown of law and order? Because in every policy, or in some of our insurance policies, there's what we call the strike and riot cover extension. You need to ask your insurance company, ask your agent, do I have such an extension in my policy? You know, just to prepare yourself, because we pray such a thing never happens again, but it's a fact of life that such things come up from time to time. America has suffered a lot, even recently during the BLM riots. People suffered a lot of losses, and in different parts of the world, you know, with the social media and the spread of a lot of information, we know what the world is exposed to now. So people should be wise. Insure your property, whether it's your car. People's cars were burnt. Private businesses were wrecked. And insurance could have been the only help, you know, at a time like this.
Yeah, Pastor, you're really on point to the effect that a lot of us take insurance for granted.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It will never happen. It has happened. I saw the picture of one of the warehouse operators, and it was a sad one, because for somebody who will have BP, that kind of person can die because of the excruciating pain inside. You know, the point in question is that there is availability of cover.
Yeah.
The extension of the fire and special perils. We talked of impact. We talked of riot and strike actions. So that where such cover will be added to the original policy, it will be on the basis that, oh, I suffered a loss, but because I have a policy, I can go and regroup. That's the value of insurance. Yes. That's the joy of insurance. That's why they say insurance creates peace of mind. It is not a situation of it is finished or it is all over. It is on the basis that, yes, it happened, but I've been able to call on my insurance for a succor. But Pastor, let me also ask this question. You know, the reason why a lot of people are also skeptical in terms of wanting to take a cover is, are you sure when the insured event occurs, whether they will pay? Let us look at that angle also to give confidence.
Yeah, Sabije, you know, there's no way we'll be on set here if we didn't have a certain level of confidence in the ability of insurance companies to pay. Insurance has been around for so many years. In fact, I would like to say very boldly, insurance has kept the businesses of, insurance has kept businesses running for years because people have suffered losses in the past. And if not for insurance, some of these companies would have gone down under.
Well, Pastor, I quite appreciate your words to say that insurance will take care of losses of this nature.
Yes.
But we need to hear more about this.
Yes.
So for now, we're going to pause. And when we come back, we'll talk strictly on this issue affecting our people, fellow countrymen and women who have suffered loss within this space of time. We want this country to grow. We want the economy to also grow. So we'll come back to talk about this position.
It's all about getting insured and having a safe future. Join us on Insurance Segment every Tuesday with Sir Dr. BJ BRAIE on This Morning on ITV.
Welcome back to the insurance segment. We're talking about the recent developments across the country in relation to looting damages caused to fellow Nigerians. And from the insurance segment, we are saying that those who have insurance policies have a right to claim under their policies. If they read at their policy documents, they can see provisions made for riot and strike actions. And we are also at this point here in the insurance segment ready, to support anybody who has become a victim in respect of this damage we're talking about. Pastor Datimi, yes. We should, as Nigerians, also open our hands to say that the business of insurance is supposed to be better understood.
Yeah.
And it is only at that level that people can also appreciate. But we're talking about the issue of payment
of claims,
the possibility. Like you said, over and over, the National Insurance Commission is very, very serious about payment of claims. And a lot of insurance companies also see payment of claims as a marketing strategy to ensure that their customers don't suffer such fate. And then they let them just be. So what do we really need to do in this circumstance, especially to members of the public, so that they can be guided for this support we're talking about?
Many a times in the past, you have invited people with issues, because sometimes there could be one or two unresolved matters as you want to, when you're processing your claims. And you've been able to get payment for them. A claim such as, you suffered the kind of loss that took place in the last few days, it's clear. To obtain a report, pictures, I have a customer who, the challenge he had was that there was an issue of a police report that she could not provide. Sometimes it's just documentation. If an insurance company declines payment of your claim, it could just be documentation issue. But when a real incident occurs and your premium is up to date, no insurance company is supposed to deny you your claim. If there are issues like that, we call on you to bring it up. Let's see what we can do about it. Insurance will pay your claim, definitely. We are regulated.
Yes, like we are saying, we have even reached out to some persons to say, we understand you have this challenge.
Yes.
Can you come bring documents? Because insurance is not just based on the issue of, you saw it on television. It is based on documentary evidence. You have a policy document. The policy document will highlight what you are insured, which is called the insurable interest. What amount that is involved, the location of that particular place, the nature of the goods. If it's a motor vehicle, we also have an identification where it occurred, amongst others. So it is at a level where you need to also come up. Don't just cry and forget about it. The reason why you took that insurance is that when compensation time comes, when an accident had occurred, you should benefit from it. But a very strong message we must pass is that those who did not take one policy or the other, we are happy to say that the state government and the federal government have announced that those who suffered loss, there will be a way to help them, get succor. But, we believe that should be. But subsequently, we want to advise that it is very important you also have your own insurance, so that the issue of assurance double sure becomes a matter.
Exactly.
The issue that I know that I will be compensated. For example, those who suffered loss in terms of their vehicles being burnt. It is only those who have a comprehensive insurance or those who have a fire and theft insurance that can benefit from such a loss.
Yes.
If there is an extension of the malicious and riot action, fixed in that particular policy. For those who have a third-party insurance, there will be no point in coming to say, well, my vehicle was damaged, because the third-party insurance position does not really give a rise to it.
Yes.
So let us also be conscious of this exercise. But the value of insurance we must all see and tap in, because this is the time, especially when the economy is getting tight. What you own is what you must work for and then protect, so that you don't lose everything. Pastor, we need to talk to members of the public.
Yeah.
And like we said, we have opened this place up.
Yes.
The insurance segment will be glad to see what support that can be. If you are not even able to reach out by coming, we can also visit you, because this is the time where things must work out. And this we have pledged we must also do to support victims of this kind that has happened. It's very, very unfortunate, but it has happened. And because it has happened, there's really nothing one can do than to say that we also face it and get results. Pastor, that's me. Last word,
let me just say this. We know, according to a friend of mine, there's hunger in the land. People are suffering. Don't take what God has not given you. I will call on people. In some states, they are calling on looters to return looted items. Maybe you also out there, if you have looted items with you, return it. And God will have mercy on you. And the state can also have mercy on you. I sympathize with also those who have lost a lot of property.
Well, on that note, we say, trust God. This country will be better. And I believe if we all confess and say to the Lord Almighty that we have all done wrong, and then the greed we must also abandon, and have the fear of God, the country will go forward. Thank you for watching. Next week we'll come again to talk on issues that relate to the fire and special perils, highlights of it, the 2003 Insurance Act. God bless you. Thank you.